This video looks at the Chrome browser sign-in process, why it's important, and how to configure it. Signing into Google's Chrome browser versus signing into Google Apps is a bit confusing because both use your Google account username and password. Signing into the Chrome browser enables syncing your browser configuration to Google servers. So, for example, you can sync your bookmarks, and that makes them available to you on any other computer, smartphone, or tablet that's running the Chrome browser. You can choose what, if anything, to sync, and on a per-device basis. Signing into Google Apps permits access to your Gmail, Calendar, and other Google apps. And you can sign into Google Apps from other browsers, such as Internet Explorer or Safari. Why should you sign into the Chrome browser? The main reason ricelakegov.org users should sign into Chrome is that it enables the automatic installation of useful enhancements to the Chrome browser. For example, the Chrome Remote Desktop extension can be automatically installed for you. This extension enables easy remote assistance and collaboration between users. Also, by signing in, you can choose to sync specific browser configuration items. This is useful if you use multiple computing devices. For example, all of your bookmarks can sync to all of your devices, and items you sync are stored on Google servers, so they won't be lost if your computer fails. I'm going to launch Google Chrome, and this test user has not used Chrome before on this machine. Current users of the Chrome browser are either signed into the browser or not. Your sign-in state is determined by choices made when first using Chrome on a given computer. So first, we'll look at using Chrome for the first time without signing in. Then we'll sign in and examine some important configuration settings. So in this case, I have a choice. I could enter my ricelakegov.org email address and password and sign in, or I could click no thanks, and that's what I'm going to do. I'll choose no thanks, so I'm not signed in to the Chrome browser. How do I know whether I'm signed in or not? As of sometime in January 2015, Chrome added this small icon to the upper right corner of the browser. It's the sign-in icon, and if you click that, it shows if you are signed in, it will show your name here. And this also gives you an easy way to sign into Chrome. The other way is to open up the Chrome menu and go to Settings. At the very top of the settings, it will tell you whether you're signed into Chrome or not. I'm going to go ahead at this point and sign into Chrome using this sign-in icon. That's probably the easiest way. I'll click Sign into Chrome, and I'll enter the username and password for this account. It's called Tester, and click Sign in. Since this account is managed by the ricelakegov.org domain, it's important to choose the option to link data. Now that this user has signed in, it does allow you to do a couple of things. You can just click OK, I've got it, or you can choose at this point what settings are going to actually be synced on this machine. I won't do that at this point. I'll just say, OK, got it. I'm going to exit from Chrome at this point and go right back into it again. Once you've signed in to a particular instance of Chrome, it keeps you signed in. You know that in a couple of different ways. First of all, this sign-in icon has now changed from the picture of a person to your name, Tester. And you can change that name if you want by clicking on the pencil here. You could change that to anything you want it to be. But that's your quick way of knowing that Tester is currently signed into Chrome. The other way, in this case, is because the user Tester had previously used Chrome on a different machine. had previously signed in, saved some bookmarks, and so now those bookmarks are being synced from Google server to this machine. So we've got these three bookmarks showing up here. The other thing to note is that the username for the ricelakegov.org account is appearing here. And if you drop that down, it shows that we're actually signed in to Google Apps. So an important side effect to note when you sign into Google Chrome is that it also automatically signs you into Google Apps. And that's something that we need to be able to control. Let's take a look at what actually got synced. You remember that when I initially signed in using this icon, I didn't choose what to sync. I just clicked OK, got it, and went ahead and signed in. You should control that, and the way to do that is by going to the Settings menu and choosing under Sign In Advanced Sync Settings. Since I did not initially choose what to sync, Google has just decided for me to sync everything. That's a very bad choice. As far as security goes and control, that's not a good choice. So drop this menu down and choose what to sync. Now, for the purposes of signing in, as far as the City of Rice Lake is concerned, you don't have to sync anything. The whole purpose of the sign-in process is to just allow specific extensions that are useful for everyone in the city to be able to have those extensions or apps automatically installed for you with no trouble. So you could safely just go through here and uncheck all of these things. Some of these, like syncing passwords, I think that's a very bad idea for security. About the only thing that I think is really useful for most of us is to sync your bookmarks. And that can be useful, especially if you have a lot of bookmarks and you want to be able to log on to a different machine and see those bookmarks, or if it's useful if your machine fails and you need to replace it. Well, all your bookmarks will be there because they're stored on Google servers. So in this case, I will choose what to sync and just sync the bookmarks. So I'll click OK on that. So you can and should control what gets synced for your account on a particular machine. More importantly, you need to be able to control the automatic sign-in process to Google Apps. If your name appears here, this means you are signed in to Google Apps. So if I click on the mail icon, it's going to automatically log me into Gmail, and I can see my email, work with my email or other Google apps without having to enter a username and password. Now the way to control that is through this sign-in icon here. You can sign out, and when you do that, when you try to go back into Gmail, you will be asked to sign in again, and I'll do that. So it takes me in to Gmail again. But now that I'm signed in, I'm just going to close Chrome. Launch Chrome again, and it has automatically logged me back in to my Google Apps account. So again, I can just click on Mail, and I don't have to enter a password. That's a real security risk, in my opinion. So the way to control that is to click on your username and click Sign Out. Now this is the part that really is not obvious about how this works. Go back and to this icon and sign in. But instead of signing in, click Sign In with a different account. Then click Remove and click the X to actually remove your account from being automatically logged in when you sign into Chrome. So that's done. And now when you sign in, the important thing to note is this checkbox. You do not want to stay signed in. So you want to make sure that that Stay signed in is unchecked. Notice also that's a convenience item, but Google is warning you that you shouldn't be doing this on shared devices. At this point, I'll sign back into the tester account, and I'm signed in again. I can go to Mail, but if I close Chrome and go back into it, it's not automatically signing me back into Google Apps. So if I go to Gmail, it's going to ask for my username and password, and the Stay Signed In box is unchecked for you. Control your syncing, control this automatic Google Apps sign-in process, and you should be good to go.